Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on August 4th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order beginning with a roll call. Christie?
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Daniel Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonbrake,
Present.
Anthony Lesnickia.
Present.
Thank you. And having established a quorum for the conducting of city business, we'll move along to consideration of the minutes of the previous meeting from July 21st, 2025. Is there a motion to bring the minutes to the floor for consideration and adoption as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the minutes. Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption of the minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under old business, first item is a contract with Omega 3 for asbestos demolition at HK Porter. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Director Keplinger.
Yes, I sent you the draft of that contract. I just printed that final version out, so I have that. All of the city's edits are in there. I'm happy to go over any questions you have about our edits, the contract itself, but this will allow us to, with your approval today, execute this contract, enter the 10-day bidding or bonding and insurance timeline in which Omega will provide us with their proof of insurance, their performance bond, and their payment bond, and then we will issue them a notice to proceed, and they will get going. They've also sent the local demolition permit. They were preparing the IDEM demolition permit and some of the other things, so we're going to start picking up steam here real quick. So it would be my recommendation that the board approve this AIA contract between the City of Huntington and Omega 3 of Elgin, Illinois, and allow the mayor to execute that agreement on behalf of the city.
Is there a motion to follow the recommendation to authorize execution of the agreement with Omega 3?
Second.
So moved.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the matter? We'll call the question in favor of authorization of execution. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Next item on the agenda is award generator maintenance contract bids. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Crutchers.
Yes, if the board will remember, at the last meeting, we opened up generator maintenance bids. This is for, the city has 10 standby emergency generators that need regular yearly maintenance. We opened 3 bids from Evapar, McAllister, and W.W. Williams. After reviewing the bid results, it would be my recommendation that we award the generator maintenance, the 3-year generator maintenance contract to W.W. Williams for the amount of $21,168.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation and award the bid?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Not seeing or hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation and the motion to award the bid accordingly. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Fire Station CMC Agreement Amendment. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cuttress.
Yes, recently, Wygan Construction, in working with the city, opened bids for two initial phases of the fire station construction work. Wygan being the construction manager as constructor, they're the ones that actually solicit quotes or solicit bids on certain portions of the work. They then open them in cooperation with the city, review them, perform interviews with the apparent low bidders, and then make a recommendation to the city. The 2 portions of bids that we opened so far were for the building and site concrete, so the building footers, the slab, the foundation, and any on-site concrete work, some of the driveways and some sidewalk, as well as earthwork and utility activities, so any of the underground excavation work, preparing the site, doing grading, installing water, sewer, electric, all of that to the building foundation. Those were the 2 portions that we opened bids so far for. The total of those 2 pieces with the alternates was $1,153,418. That's about $420,000 below the estimate, so we're pretty happy with those results. And then there are the Wygans construction fees on top of that, or their construction administration fees, their construction manager fee on top of that. So what I have before the board is an amendment to the CMC agreement between the city and Wygan Construction to, for phase one of construction. That amendment would be $2,115,574. And it would be my recommendation that the board award the work for the concrete and the earthwork activities and allow the mayor to sign the contract amendment with Wygan for an additional $2,115,574 so that we can continue to move forward on the fire station. This recommendation would be contingent of city council approval for the funds at the upcoming council meetings
August 12th.
on August 12th.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation regarding the amendment and that's subject, of course, to council action on the 12th.
I have a question about,
Yep.
just want a clarification. So you gave the 1.1 million, and then the new 2 million is the new total,
Correct.
right?
That is for this initial phase as well as Wygan's construction manager fee. That fee was established
Okay.
during the project review
Yeah.
period. So that is incorporated in this
Got it.
agreement. That is their total construction manager fee.
Okay, thanks.
Further question or discussion? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the motion to act on the recommendation, subject to council approval. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving along to the agenda, under new business, first item under new business is the LaFontaine Street right-of-way grant. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Kutchers.
Yes, I was recently approached by the county highway as well as their design engineers working on the design of the complete deck replacement of the LaFontaine Street Bridge. They received funds through the LPA program through NDOT for a complete deck replacement in 2027. As part of that project, they have identified the need for some additional right-of-way along the city-owned parcel on the southeast corner of that bridge. As you can see there on the screen, it's roughly that sliver that Brent has identified there. Typically through an LPA process, the county would get fee simple right-of-way. That means the county would have that piece of property would be identified as right-of-way under the county. Knowing potential future needs that the city may have, we approached the county about a right-of-way grant that just dedicates that sliver of land as public right-of-way for the use of the county for their bridge project as well as future needs by us or other utilities. That option was acceptable by the county. This parcel being held in ownership by the RDC. I believe that's correct, Brent, right? We took this to the RDC last Friday. They signed off on the dedication of the right-of-way grant on that sliver. So now it's before the board, and our recommendation would be that the board sign and dedicate that sliver as additional right-of-way for the use of future public utilities, the city and/or the county, as they need right-of-way for both the LaFontaine Street Bridge project and any future needs.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation to grant the additional right-of-way?
Accept. Let me rephrase that. It would be that my recommendation would be that the board accept this right-of-way grant.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation.
So whose property is it now? It's the
Yeah.
county's?
It's the city, through the Art Redevelopment Commission, own that parcel of land.
Who maintains it?
The Parks Department mows that piece of land.
So just to be clear, we're accepting a right-of-way from who?
So technically, the redevelopment commission would be dedicating that as additional right-of-way, and this board would be accepting that dedication.
Okay, just for that sliver.
Yes.
And that's so if we had to run something on the river and have that sliver to run it?
What facilitates the county in doing their bridge project, but it also leaves us with opportunities that if we needed to run a utility in there or a trail or anything like that, we would still retain both fee simple ownership as well as having
Okay.
a right-of-way to do that.
What about the other side?
Not ours.
Not ours to dedicate or anything, so if the county needs additional right-of-way there, they will have to work with that private landowner.
Got it.
Further discussion or consideration? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the motion to act on the recommendation and accept the right-of-way grant. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item under new business is MS4 agreement with Christopher B. Burke. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutress.
Yes, currently, the city has been working with Christopher B. Burke Engineering to revise, update, and amend all of our MS4 documents, municipal separate storm sewer, to bring us back into compliance with the recent changes that IDEM and the EPA have made to the MS4 regulations and state law there. So far to date, we have updated the our documents related to the city's overall program. It's reaching the point where we need to update our permits and some of our standards and all of that kind of stuff as well. Christopher B. Burke having helped us with the first phase, I asked them to continue their assistance. This agreement that I have would be an on-call agreement for $50,000 that as we need their assistance with revising documents, they provide that assistance to us. The fees for this would be paid for out of a recent stormwater bond that the city has in place. So it would be my recommendation that the board authorize the mayor to sign this MS4 on-call agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering.
Is there a motion regarding the recommendation to authorize signing the agreement with Christopher B. Burke?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the matter?
How long is it valid?
It's valid until we either decide we don't need their services anymore or the $50,000 fee is expended.
Okay, thanks.
Further question or discussion? Not hearing anything further at this time, we'll call the question in favor of approval of the MS4 agreement with Christopher B. Burke. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda under new business is an agreement with Catalyst Affairs Group. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. So board members, so you're aware, Catalyst Affairs Group is a group in Indianapolis that acts on behalf of local municipalities such as the city of Huntington, and given some of the extraordinary changes at the State House, both legislatively and by executive branch, we would like to engage their services to look out for the interests of the city of Huntington, especially in this next year. So this contract is a one-year monthly term. The monthly amount is $4,500. If for any sense of reason or that it's, we're not satisfied with it, we can terminate the agreement following the appropriate steps in it. But my request would be that the Board of Works authorize signing the agreement. So with that then, is there a motion to authorize signing the agreement with Catalyst Affairs Group?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Any questions?
Have we used them before?
Yes. We
last year for a specific project, and that was successful. We just had the governor here for the ceremonial bill signing related to that, SB 306, which was the film and media tax credit.
And the contract is monthly, or it's for a year to be billed monthly? Okay. And we can terminate it at any time if we feel like our services are not being provided to the level that we require. Is that the way you said it?
Yeah, 30 days notice in writing.
Okay, perfect.
Further discussion or consideration? Not hearing anything further at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorizing execution of the agreement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving along under ordinance enforcement, the first is an update regarding 703 First Street repairs. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul.
Good afternoon. Yes, the property owner on that is S. Chandler Kidd of 514 First Street. The roofing contractor was Rayco Home Services. I was out there with them on the 29th, last Tuesday, I believe it was. And when they were tearing that off, they did find that there was 5 layers of shingles on there. 2 is the maximum it's supposed to be on, so that explains why that top layer was blowing off in the wind like it was. Contractor, because of that, and then finding an extra layer of wood shingles they were unaware of, they did request and ask if they could charge a little bit more, considering dumpster and everything was going to be additional. I've not received the bill for that. They have not got the gutter put back on, so that's the only thing that's missing is the gutter. So once they get the gutter on, which he had messaged me just a second ago and said that it would hopefully be on by the end of the week, I'll get the final bill from them and bring it before you for processing at that time.
Further question or discussion on the update on 703 Street?
Did they have to go past that side?
Just those 2 sides, yep. For now.
Do you know, did they do any sheeting as well?
They did install sheeting. They took it down to the deck and then it installed OSB sheeting on too.
So you're thinking that the only extra is going to be
The additional 2 layers that had to be removed, yeah. For labor and removal, disposal.
more dumpster space,
Yeah.
trips, all that? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right. Thank you for the update, Commissioner Paul. Next item is a status hearing regarding 1321 Gay Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. And Commissioner Paul, if you want to lead off on this portion?
The owner is Kenneth Black III and Kenneth Black Sr., 1321 Gay Street. That order of enforcement was issued on May 27th, 2025. At the time of issuance, there were 13 unsafe violations, 12 minimum housing violations, along with 16 corrective measures for compliance. There was an initial deadline date of June 26th, 2025. During the June 16th meeting, the board affirmed that order of enforcement with the May 27th, affirmed that with the deadline date of June 26th. During that meeting, the board did, the meeting ended up, after the deadline date, the meeting was July 7th. During the July 7th meeting, the board affirmed the order of enforcement, directed me to seek demolition proposals, and assessed a $2,500 fine for the willful failure to comply with the order. Since that time, one of the owners has reached out and expressed an interest in saving the home from demolition, and they are here today to talk to you.
At this time, I'd invite Mr. Kenneth Black Sr. to please step up to the podium. If you'll state your full name and your legal residence for the record, and then if you could just provide a 3 to 5 minute update to the board members on what actions you've taken and what you hope to accomplish.
My name is Kenneth Black Sr., and I live at 233 Etna Avenue here in Huntington. And I own several other properties in the town too. And I was not aware that the house needed repairs or anything like that until May the 7th, when my grandson, Kenny the Third, told me about that he was breaking up with his girlfriend, he was moving out, and then since he owed me money that I loaned him to buy the house in the first place, I could have the house. So now went over there to take a look at it, and then I seen the first violation thing for the yard with all that stuff in there, and oh my God, didn't know he had all that stuff. So I went to clean it up and everything, got rid of the stuff, got a dumpster, and he had boats in there and all kinds of junk. So took me a while to get rid of it. And then when I went inside the house, he had a lot of stuff inside the house too. So I was cleaning it all out and everything. And then it was like July the 6th, I believe, or something, or 7th. I went over there and then I saw paper on the wall, on the door, and I had a sticker. Then it was saying that they was going to tear it down on June the 26th and stuff like that. And I was never notified of this or anything, so I didn't know what was going on, with it. So I called Paul and stuff and talked to him about it. And so I said, well, I really want to save the place and fix it up because there is people living upstairs in the house. And I got a stepson that wants to move in downstairs. Going to try to renovate it, tearing the insides out and redoing it stuff. I've done that before. I did a house over here on Taylor Street. But now it did take me 2.5 years by myself to do it. I ripped out everything. Now I wound up selling to Ness on that house last year. Matter of fact, my wife passed away in October. So I sold sold the place. So I'm back to living in my house there at 233, and I just bought a house at 1608 Etna Avenue just in February, and I've been over there working on that one and stuff, trying to fix it up and stuff, some things that needed. So then that's when all this come up and stuff, and so now I'm over there trying to fix it up. And then one of my crew members, like on Friday, he was working on the soffit, and a bee or something flew by him. He's really allergic to them, and he fell off the ladder. That was about 8 or 10 foot drop. So then they had to call an ambulance, stuff like that, take him to the hospital, but he's okay. He just got bruised really bad. So, but I got people that's helping me work on it. We're trying to get it done, and I'll do it as fast as I can,
Thank you, Mr. Black. Now, you do have the order of enforcement, and you know the steps that need to be taken
Yes.
and the repairs that need made?
Right. I got my workers stuff. They're helping me and everything. So we're working and trying to get all the violations done and everything. Even the people that lives upstairs and stuff is even helping me with the house, working on it stuff. And I know, but right now stuff, there's a lot of the tile, well, not tile, but the shingles and stuff like that that I have piled up there. So I was going to get another dumpster as soon as possible and then get all that stuff there, all cleaned up, the rest of it, and then still work on the roofing and whatever else needs to be done. Plus, I'm going to be working on the inside and stuff, tearing that out too, redoing it.
Board members, specific questions?
Yes, have you set up a timeline with Commissioner Paul that you're trying to work toward having things done? Have you spoke with him and have that set up?
No, I haven't talked about a timeline or whatever, but I'm thinking maybe if I had a month or two, I could probably get it, almost everything done, and all that stuff. Because I've done a lot of work on houses. My father and stuff, he was a plumber, carpenter and electrician. And then my grandfather was a plumber and a carpenter, so I learned all those things from them and stuff. And I had one uncle that he was owned a gas station, so I learned to work on cars. So I've been, I'm not a master of everything or like that.
Jack of all
but
trades.
I can do a lot of different things. So, and a lot of people have told me, it's like, you don't look almost 73 years old. But I still get around and work pretty good and everything. And then, like I said, I did lose my wife in October last year. And then the next month, then I lost my children's mother. She passed away. So, lost two right
Been a
there,
hard year.
So I had to pay for their funerals, stuff like that. I had them cremated and stuff each because that's what they wanted. So, I kind of keep the families going and stuff, and I have a lot of family in the area and stuff. I got a lot of interest here in Huntington.
Well, thank you, Mr. Black, and you're welcome to have a seat. If we have further questions, we'll call you back up for those, but
Thank you
Commissioner
very
Paul-
much for your consideration.
Commissioner Paul, anything you would add?
I would add that we did not receive demolition proposals, went out to 3 separate contractor, 4, and did not receive any back. Just so you know that. I believe everybody's just really busy this time of the year and
When were these photos taken?
today. Were you tore the garage off, but are you planning on rebuilding, or are you just gonna re-side that side of the house? Leave.
Yeah.
Board members? Thank you, Mr. Black. Thank you. Board members, if there's a willingness, we could modify the order and give an extension of 30 to 60 days. If you want to do 30 days, we could see what kind of progress gets made. It could get an additional extension then.
I propose 30 days.
I second.
To the September 2nd board meeting.
Are we putting together a motion here? Where are we?
That was the motion.
Okay. that
Motion to
was the mo-
modify the order of enforcement to allow a 30-day extension to the September 2nd board meeting for an update.
How do we feel about having because he doesn't have a timeline submitted to SHAD yet. I think we need to see one within 5 business days.
Propose and submit it, and then see where we're at on the second.
So modify the order of enforcement for a 30-day extension to September 2nd board meeting, requiring also a timeline to be submitted, worked out with SHAD within 5 business days. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Further discussion and consideration of the motion to modify the order of enforcement? Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of modification. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. So, Mr. Black, there is a 30-day extension, and then we'll have you come into the September 2nd meeting for an update. In the meantime, you have 5 business days to work out a timeline for the work with SHAD, okay? All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. You're welcome to do whichever. There you go. Okay. Aware that we don't have any relevant business under demolition bid openings today. Moving along, any miscellaneous items for the good of the order? Not seeing or hearing any at this time. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of accounts payable? Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of approval, authorizing payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned. Have a great week.